Hello everyone, I'm MePhone4 and I'm Son of Beast, and this is NBA2k23 on 2K Sports. What's up everyone, Son of Beast here, and we're back for another part of a new season of the NBA 2K23. This next matchup is about to be happening here for one of our better players in between, from the tough ones to the least. Next team we have is New Orleans Pelicans taking on against the Detroit Pistons and Detroit City of Motor City. That is right, we're heading back to Detroit here after second season and the fourth season here of the NBA 2K history of the sports of the season. So far, however, only one had just claimed out to get a win, and the other one didn't really stop improving it, that the Detroit Pistons didn't get really well. And for their fifth season, they have won at amazing, incredible scores at one each time. So now, it's the time to do it. Because without the other franchise players, here are tough ones in between. From this team here of New Orleans Pelicans over to the other one of the other angle to the Detroit Pistons. It's very hard, but so far, however, there might be some way to get around it. Right at this point, here are the starting lineups, as I will have the next commentary up. MePhone and OJ here at the Little Caesars Arena. First up we have here in the Pelicans, CJ McCollum, Herbert Jones, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and Jonas Valanciunas. And on the other side we have is Killian Hayes, Jaden Ivey, Bojan Bogdanovic, Sadiq Bey, and Marvin Bagley III. Yep, that's what we are calling for, the third of the Bagley. So this time, let's go ahead and send you down to Motor City for tonight's presentation of the NBA 2K23. OJ, MePhone, all yours. Well, to live here at this moment, this brings up here into Portland. So we're going from Detroit up to Motor City for this point on, and we have the NBA action coming up in just a bit. OJ along with MePhone, and we got Pelicans, Pistons coming up after this. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back. Greetings, folks. It is now time for the NBA action. Here back at the Motor City home with the Detroit Pistons. And along the side, we have his Allie the Force that we bring here for tonight. And his coverage will be up for another one. Here's Allie.
CJ McCollum is looking to evolve his game. He said, quote, I can get out of bed, get 20. Now I need to score efficiently, make my teammates better, and impact the game in every facet. You get older, the maturity level shifts, and you understand what needs to be done, guys.
Well, that's a great looking show off to CJ Ingram. Thank you so much, Allie. And let me tell you, OJ, I'm not letting this happen right now because we know the franchise player here, Bojan Bogdanovic here, and Brandon Ingram, they got a heavy ones in between the matches already that they have gotten it so far. After last season here, it was Bogdanovic that had finished his career with Utah Jazz before the trade-off has been chipped in. That's a tough one here to be inbound because if all of that happens, it really does turn out a tough one. With the start of the game, Detroit Pistons gets the ball as we are underway, all filled up and ready to go here in Detroit. Starting group in between Bogdanovic against Ingram. And it's Ivy against Jones. CJ McCollum against Hayes. And the other hand, we have his Bey against Williamson. And finally, Valanciunas up on the number one. Here again to the other player we call for tough one, inbounders. They're tough inbounders. They are never going to let this one happen here. In between running out one of the games in this one. After the win against Chicago Bulls for the season, this really turned out, but it's a lot of hard focus in between from the other hand of the pressuring of the unstoppable run of their games. How do you think this would happen to another one that the Pelicans did well at this point? Well, the tough one I was really not even going for any day. It may be really hard to go impact. I don't really see the other days that the Pelicans were able to make a win. Very tough one after last season here against the Celtics. It's a tough one to go inbound. It's very tough to try to keep it denying attentions on. Very tough ones go by. Not well enough, but maybe a tough one to keep it up. It's a tough one to try to stop their run. Hayes shot, short. And he puts it back. Hayes has his first bucket here of the night. You go back to Hayes with this one. Rebounder gets it done. Here's C.J. McCollum. He's covered up by now by Hayes. Now here's Ingram here in the corner. Stepped out of bounds. That goes to the turnover by Pelicans to Detroit ball. Oh man, an easy mistake here for Ingram. Really have to show things off to a prices. Somebody has to try to pay a bill on him. Tough one inbound. Double man cover. Hayes outside for three. Rebounded by Williamson. Williamson with the first rebound here of the night. And with just only 4 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Now goes over to Valanciunas. Valanciunas to Williamson. Gets it goal and ties the game up as Valanciunas takes the assist. When you go backward to play here, Williamson's got a great eye on the coverage. And for Valanciunas got a wide open look here to try to go back to him. Very tough one to try to stay alive. Very tough one to leave behind. Battling rebound here as Williamson picks up his second rebound. 3:30 left to go. Still even in the game. He goes right to Valanciunas. Valanciunas switch back to Jones. With the drive. Excellent scoop in, and that goes with the first bucket for Jones. That's an easy play. What a scoop. Amazing driving with the layup. And that was your Mobile One Drive game of the highlights of Herbert Jones. Here's Ivy on Jones. Bogdanovich outside. Screen covered. Going in. Oh man, what a thump here performed by Bogdanovich. That's his first drive dunkage, a performed run for this season. Is this season going to be a tough one? I don't think so. But there might be somebody else out there that can do it a lot more quicker than he thinks. Valanciunas takes it two, heads it back up here and leads it again. Right now at this point, Ingram has got another one to take over. Ivy on Jones. Bogdanovich outside. Goes right over to Hayes. Hayes on McCollum. Just 5 to shoot. Ivy looking for a shot to beat it and deflected by Jones. That goes with the shot clock violation as it turns over to Pelicans. What a great D here on Jones. Very picked it up here on the first bounding to stop the defensive here on the offensive players of the game. What a play. New changes coming in for the Pelicans and the Detroit Pistons as most players are checked out and most players are checked in between. As of right now, Alvarado has definitely got a great Ingram run. Brandon Ingram has gotten a lot of good things done. Also with Daniels as well. And those two are definitely a tough one to try to keep them up already, but they might be hard enough to try to put it inbound. Ingram inside, takes a shot, that goes with the first another bucket here for Ingram. Brandon Ingram on the road doing a best service that he has going for. Knox, back to Joseph. Here's Duran, hasn't played here before with the Pistons. Joseph back again, covered by Alvarado. Jones knocks for three. Can't make the three-pointer range as with the first rebounding goes to Hayes. Here's Daniels. Backing over is Alvarado. Back over to Nance Jr. Scoops it over to Daniels. Inside now, and the foul's called on Livers. Their first team foul for Detroit, first personal. That's what you wanted to do. You want to try to be careful on Daniels at this point. And he was going to try to put it in the paint here and then go right with the layup drive. Unfortunately, however, the man on top of Livers got him denied. But it was called too short. Daniels hits the first free throw. He's been delivering things all alone. He wants to get over it again. Ingram's checked out as Murphy's checked in. Second free throw for Daniels is good. First 2 free throw buckets of the night has 2. On the road, doing it all over it. Joseph on Colorado finds over Burks. Burks trying to make a good screen cut. Looks over to Joseph. 6 on the shot clock. Joseph over Alvarado. A great solid defensive on Alvarado as Hayes picks up his own rebound. Alvarado really did seem like have a great stop appearance in there. Really turned out great, and he had. Alvarado back inside. Takes it over to Murphy. Swings it right over to Daniels. 3 to shoot. Up at the elbow. Lance Jr. with the first rebound. Daniels tries to go back to Murphy. They need to get a shot right in time to make it. Alvarado makes the first driving and has his first bucket. And Murphy with the assist. What a great start here for Alvarado, really showing it off. Almost took the ball away, but Duran has it covered. Burks on Daniels. Burks tries his way on the move. Back to Burks. 3 seconds. Knocks for 3. And he did make the buzz beater. That ends the first quarter. New Orleans with the start of the first quarter at the end, 12 to 4. What a great start with the run. They're going to get through it done. We'll get right to second quarter when we come back. As we move into the second quarter, the Pelicans made an early lead here over by 8. And with the Detroit Pistons need to get right into this game. The one thing I have to talk about that one in mind, that Bagley the third really has showing things off. But some of the other guys really wanted their team back. And without Jeremy Grant and the other guys, there might be tough ones to go nearby. McCullough right over to Valanciunas. Now switching over to Jones. Here's the Detroit lineup here as we get things started. Noel Bogdanovic, and with that one, Jones unable to make the drive, and a great stoppage by Bay. Bay seems to really, he knows this way through. He could have tried to handle it to get it hard enough. Bay, first bucket here in the game, and they're now back in again. They're just going crazy enough to go right from here. Here's Jones. Only picked up 2 points in the buckets in this game. Now goes back to McCullough. Valanciunas comes out. Around him. And count the bucket and 1. That goes to CJ McCollum. His second bucket. And Noel picks up his first. That's a great drive. Look at the hustle. And with a tough look inbound, he went down. And then what a great shot for CJ McCollum to pick it back in there. New groups now to make some new changes here for the Pelicans. As there are many changes here going on in between the runs. McCollum has only got 1 shot left to keep the game up. CJ McCollum isn't able to make the free throw, but only made 2. Here's an open pass to Diallo. Great run, and Diallo with the first bucket. That's a great, good open feed look in between. That's when you really can't just let the man get away with it. That's a tough one to go right from instead. McCollum back over to Jones. Jones swings it to Valanciunas. Valanciunas over to Ingram. With the drive, makes a good feed look of the floater. And Ingram's got a 6 bucket. He's definitely strong enough, able to make that stop. A second replay of the game by Mobile One. And that's another drive-in for the Pelicans. Bogdanovic on Ingram. Bay going inside. Over it again. It's rebounded here by Valanciunas. And with that one, with Ali LaForce has making them great games in this one. The only secret is to keep this up here. She has a message. They really want to improve the player here, and with our head coach, they wanted to keep their pressure alive. However, they might need to make a new change-off in between here from each run to the score. We'll see if we can try to keep the players up. It's tough, though, to be at last. Don't try to recreate it. Make more what you can make. Noel making a drive, and it's down by 8. They're saying that Noel was going to try to prove it all. He didn't really want to care about it at all for some point. Ingram back to Jones. Swings up and over to Valanciunas. And up a great sight. Williamson! A great look of the drive look of the rim. And that's a first and third bucket for Williamson. Look out below. A solid D, and Ingram has it back. Over on Noel. Now here's Ingram. Three-pointer for McCullough. Good bucket scores with a splash. Splash down and attack of the run. McCollum's got 5. Now they're saying three-pointers are just a tough win range out there. They need a lot more to get the players open. Ivy in a free throw form. That misses again. Ingram going back the other way. 2 rebounds this season of the game. He goes right over to Valanciunas. New changes on here on offense. Open look. Ingram. Deflect. And that's rebounded here by Ivy. With the Wednesday of this one, as Valanciunas has 22 points here in this game. Along with that one here, he didn't really have time to think about it at all costs. But it seems like he did really hard on that effort drive there, guys. It's the tough ones always inbound because of Valanciunas. He would have had time to make a score. But if he wants to make the new changes out there, he can't let the players get away with it. He's got a llama on his own, and he can do it again. Ingram finds over Valanciunas. And here's Williamson right in the corner of the baseline. Double man covered. Jones up with the 2. Good shot, boy. And Jones has another bucket here in this game. New Orleans got this season a 27.8 average percentage, and they got a long in between from the range. It's tough though when you think. With that, Pelicans, however, they got a great easy to get this drive out. First timeout has been called by Detroit Pistons with 1 minute and 47 seconds to go. With that one being said, most counter times are just tough ones to go from here. That is true. Maintain their way. They got a lot of hard things that they can try to keep it up for. Without any open man and coverage out there, they're going to need some a little different changes off if they wanted to get over it. So far, only 1 steal as attempt here for Detroit Pistons, and 1 block here for the New Orleans Pelicans. 2 turnovers in between for Pelicans and 1 for Detroit. There's so many rebounds here for the Pelicans to get over it and assist, but only a few happen to be a rebound and assist on Detroit. Well, Detroit's got to get back into this game, because if you're not going to get there good enough to reach the effort, you can't make a mistake here if you wanted to try to keep it over and under again. That's the tough things that they're going to try to keep going from in between the range. New substitution making for as Knox will try to help out with another new players. 4 players comes off the court. 4 players come in: Hayes, Lance Jr., Daniels, and Alvarado. New changes also gives it up here for Detroit. All 5 players are checked out, as Bagley the third moves over to point forward. Now, Alvarado over to Nance Jr. Reaches back over to Alvarado. Moves over to Daniels. Finding a range on Ingram. Up and over me. Rebounded off, and that will be picked up here on Dumba. Burks. 3 for Bagley. Once again, no good free connections in between for the New Orleans Pelicans and Detroit. Only perfect 3-pointers here for CJ McCollum on the Pelicans. They do have it always. Not really a style enough to get over it, but it's tough though to make a shot. Hayes making a great look at this play through as the first bucket goes on Hayes. With under a minute left to play, Knox, here he comes! 3-pointers in the house! Knox gets his first 3-pointer of the night. Right now it's 27-17. I called that one here before because their players are tough there to try to keep the answer range in between. Because of that one here, in the choice option here, because in last couple seasons here, in season 4, they have a hard time to try to go over and go under it again to beat against the Phoenix Suns. But that moment, they already make their way down the run. They definitely did. I'm telling you this one why, because this was a tough team to make it from the Western Conference to get over it this time. I don't know what to tell you this one, but this was a very great option to make the Wise run. A great score. Alvarado unable to make that one, makes an awkward layup. Alley-oop. Success! That's there with the bucket. And great alley-oop successful here. I know about that one. Great shot. And that ends the first half. 27-21. Detroit trailing by 8. We'll take a quick break at halftime show, but let's have Allie first on the sideline.
Thanks, I'm here now with Twin Casey. Coach, how do you assess your shot selection and your decision-making offensively?
We have some good looks. We just got to make sure we keep our points, keep always knock them down. We have some good looks. We knew they were going to come out with a lot of juice, a lot of speed, a lot of quickness. We made some mistakes defensively, not catching up quick with them. So, yeah, we got to keep our composure and stay with our game plan defensively.
Good luck. Thank you, Coach.
All right, Allie. Stay tuned. Second half is coming up after this. All right, let's check out your highlights of the first half here of the Pelicans and Detroit Pistons. The Pelicans got a great start here on the average of making great shot abilities. And with the better players of this average man of Bogdanovich, I've got some great couple of the dunks here and a little face-off in between. The Pistons are making their way to make a catch-up on this one. But this moment of time can be a little bit challenging if they can keep things over. We'll see how well they do in the second half. And as for the Pelicans for itself, they got a tight spots here. Great 3-pointers for CJ McCollum and a drive-in from Brandon Ingram. A lot of tough ones are going to be a tough inbounding in the game. Not sure what will happen, but there might be 1 to another. And I mean it. And that's going to wrap here for the halftime show. Let's go back down to OJ and me phone in just a couple seconds. Please go back right now. We are finished. I'll see you in the post-game show. We hope this turns out to be a great first half of the game. And right now, we are ready for the second half. Welcome back in you at the Little Caesars Arena. Right now, we start the third quarter. And we're going back to go one by one. The name of this one goes with Zion Williamson. After a draft here in the NBA 2018, this really has to turn things all over in the place time. You can definitely just hear that Williamson's got a great run in between. I'm telling you this one why? Because this one was a lucky man ever that I was ever seen it before in between by the run. And I'm not really telling you that they already got blacked out, but it may be the tough one to try to stop them out. Brandon Ingram, what a great drive. A horrific shot. Hoping this one should be another one to stop in by. Bogdanovich lost the ball. McCollum coming in with the attack. Valanciunas stays back. Making new changes here in between. Here's Ingram. Right back to Jones. Looking over to CJ McCollum. Step-up play. Didn't make the throw. Williamson all alone. And we have a personal foul called on Pelicans. That will be their first personal on Valanciunas. No team foul is called. Yeah, a little mistake here on defensive at that point because he bumped the man out of here. That turned to be a rough call. And great call here for Detroit as this was a personal foul being called out behind. Hayes on McCollum. Finds over Bays. Bays reaches up. And a foul is called on the New Orleans Pelicans as Ingram calls his first personal. And a first team foul called on Pelicans. Bay was going to able to reach it over and overreached on Ingram and just going right into the layup drop. It's tough though to try to stay in bounds. He really didn't show off like he mean it. First shot for Bay is in the bucket. And let me tell you, this one here is Saddiq Bey. Really has it all improving in here. Better timing, better ones to take the shots here if he really wants to go over it again. Agreed. I totally agree because how he made that players to get over it. Very tough one to try to keep it alive. But sometimes, however, it really does turn things off to be a tough running inbound. McCollum back over to Jones. Jones reach over to Williamson. Oh, he's going to drive it in. Yep, you call that one here. Williamson got another driving game. Mobile one block. What a stoppage. I'm telling you this one here. This really has to stand out for Williamson to get in the board. Instead of a dunk, he just didn't want to risk it all like he mean it. That was a very tough score. Bogdanovich, open wide, look at the angle. Bogdanovich, first three-pointer of the night. They're cutting it down again to try to stop their run by 5. As for Bogdanovich, he was able to try to loose it quickly in between the attackers. Jones, back pass to Valanciunas. Reaches over to Ingram. And this calls a blocking foul on the defensive player on Bogdanovich. That's his second. First team foul is on the Pistons. And right now, as Ingram comes out and Murphy's checked in. On the other tip player, this one, as Noel is checked in. He goes back to Murphy. Tries again for Jones. Driving up, count the bucket and one. That was a tough side angle as Ivy himself has a foul. A second team foul has been lifted off on Detroit. I don't need to see why was Herbert Jones going to lift it off. He has 6 points in the game and stopped the clock at 4:02. He's really into the beating, and he mean it. I really have to tell him that point. He is going wild. The fans are getting a little upset about this because at this point, the defensive effort is not picking strong. Jones able to make the free throw, and they are pushing it up again to do it once more. Ivy outside. Bogdanovich a second three. Rebounded over and another miss by Detroit three-pointer. They lose a trackage of a score. Watch out being cold. I know. Definitely what they want. McCollum drives inside. My goodness, you can call that C.J. McCollum is lifting his curse. That's 7 points in the game. For the playoffs to inbound the regular season? I don't think so. He is lifting up his way. Great pass, and Bay has the bucket down again. They're rolling the pressure in. Here's McCollum, 7 points in the game. Reaches over to Murphy. Murphy made new changes here on offense. He bounced pass to Jones. 6 to shoot. They need to make it quick. Williamson, in and out, or out. In and out. Jones right back over to McCollum. Up again. The shot cannot stop him from McCollum. That's another bucket score. 9 points in the game. Only 2:40 left to play in the third quarter. Hayes. Ivy outside. Hayes tries it again, and the 3-second is called by Valanciunas. At this point, a technical free throw is coming up for Detroit Pistons. This one's going to be a little bit takedown angle, and they forgot to make newer changes. Valanciunas didn't see that one going. As pass for now. Hayes makes a shot. And that puts it back in for another bucket score. 3 players are checked out. Williamson, Valanciunas, and Jones are checked out as Hayes moves to point forward. And 4 players in Detroit checked out. Livers, Duran, Diallo, and Burks are checked back in. Here's Hayes. Hasn't scored yet for the second half of this game. Diallo looking for a block, and that foul is called on Nance Jr. It's their second team foul, first personal foul. This really has to turn things out. Diallo was going to make that one in there. How did that all happen? It's really turned out to be too hard to handle, and that might be a rough stop. And with 2 shots coming up for Diallo, stop the clock at 2:26.
Shoot 2.
Diallo makes the first free throw. With that shot, that's terrific. Now it's Hayes. He's checked out. As the new changes here for the Pistons brings Joseph back into the court. On the court, I meant. Two free throws for Diallo, makes one in. Pelicans lead by 7. McCollum back over to Hayes. Hayes delivers off to Graham. Graham has never played here before, as the last season was calling for a terrific play. In the action making of how this all happened, this one's turning into to be a wild crowd. It definitely does happen. And for Graham, for himself, he really did have it all what he was going for. He's really into a great play of this moving drive. He's tough though at the moment, but I can definitely tell that Graham did have it all what he can go for. Nance Jr. passes over to McCollum. Drive going! My goodness! Nobody is putting the pressure on him. As CJ McCollum has 11 points. Well, if there's a pressure on him, he was like getting away from him. Another 3-point range, and the foul's picked up on Graham. That's his first foul for team foul. As for this point, it will be another 2 buckets to have the free throw line for another Detroit. That will be a tough one to bring it inbound here if they are going from the scoring breakdowns in between. There's too much to go with the off assist and in the penalty box. That will be too much to go from the Pelicans line group. Free throw in for number 1. And this one is going to be picking up here again if they get to 9. 3 players are checked out. Murphy moves over to point forward. Hayes in the center. As 1 player checks in. And Duran with the second free throw made. They trail by 9. McCollum back over to Daniels. Daniels back over to Graham. Graham starting to whip around. Making over to McCollum. Scans the floor. And a great defensive effort as McCollum's drive in is out of here. Yep, he's out of here. Go home. And Joseph putting it back the other way. That's a field goal range here for Detroit, putting an even run scores. McCollum back over to Daniels. Now he moves over to Graham. Now with the jump for a little help here. Graham's shot makes it through. That's his first bucket. And with that one, the Pelicans reach it out of sight. They are doing it. Livers back the other way. Number 2-point bucket score as Joseph makes up the assist. They're going wild and wild, crazy run efforts. They're just going right insanity run. McCollum back over to Hayes. Hayes rejected, and that goes right back to Diallo. With 20 seconds left. Burks looking for a 3. Regrets back to Livers for 3. missing the range. It's taken away by Graham. Graham his first steal, never turnover made. Daniels, here's the shot. Here's the buzz beater. He makes it in! My goodness, that's a tough shot release bit. Wow, Hayes, how can you believe that one? What amazing finish in the third quarter. They're really all over to now. I'm definitely telling you, they are pulling P's. Pushing P's is the answer for that call. And we will take a quick break. 46-37. Looking for our Pelicans another clutch win in the season. Here's a moment now as we take a look at the head coach from Detroit. I'm seeing a lot of things with the play action through making here from Dwayne Casey. Casey just really got things a lot on his own. He really has to try to keep things over with if he wants to go right from back to offense to defense. What a rejection by Valanciunas, blocking the alley-oop pass, and that was the first rejection they called for. In passes already in dump shit. Look who's back. Valanciunas is already picking up their run in the game. Ingram, another drive in here for the Ingram of the run. A tough shot. He's already in the move, making two splits in between from front and back half of the court. I mean, they're really on to a great start. Bogdanovich at number 3 reaches out too soon as Valanciunas picks up the 4th rebound here in the game. Valanciunas goes over back to McCollum. Now making new changing. They want to make that one a little screen off ball. He goes over to Jones. And Valanciunas going inside the layup and good. Valanciunas has his second bucket after the first one picks it up here in this game. Now Ivy. Holding the double man coverage. Bogdanovich. Over it again, he's fouled, called by Zion Williamson. He reaches his first personal and another team foul. Lifts it off to Pelicans. Too soon to call for. Bogdanovich was going to try to make that drive, but it turned out too soon. It really took too much time for him to get over it again. Bogdanovich at the free throw line shooting 2 has to stop the clock at 4:40 to go. First free throw set in for Bogdanovich. And if you have to check out your last episode of this part of the Inanimate Sanity Invitational, it is out now. So make sure you watch here only on Animation Epic. If you haven't subscribed to it, make sure you do so. We are a lot of stuff here going on in between the fans of Crazy Craving Cartoon Awards, just going right from this year. And I don't know about next year, but it may be too much to keep an eye on that. It sure does. Really has to turn things out that they want. Detroit trailing by 21. Trailing by 11, I meant. Jones. Step back fade. Williamson outside. Triple no good. Valanciunas takes it back. Ingram for 3. And another Valanciunas with the rebound. He's all over it now. He was ready to take his own time for the rebound, and he knew it right away. Ingram step back, makes the shot. A number 2 releasement here for the Pelicans. And Williamson with the assist. He's already been picking things up here. Williamson, my goodness, he's lifting him all the way through. Hey, oh man, do you feel that? That's one dunk hand. Bay reaching it all over it. I'm coming back where I come from. I'm not ending your game here. McCollum back over to Ingram. Fade rolls back to Williamson. With a round back, count the bucket and 1. A A lot of teams going for personal fouls and team fouls. Craziness to make the turnover play on the penalty box. Those guys are really interested in that. Williamson really lifting it around the offender of the board, around in the box, and then with that, he's showing what he can do. Wow, he's like a man on heavy duty. 3:40 has stopped the play clock. As right now, one free throw will lift it up for Williamson. Free throw good for Williamson. He's lifting all night long. When Williamson gets in the court, he would realize he has no other patience to get over it from in between the teams. It's tough though to get it inbounding. Timeout call by Detroit Pistons with stopping under 3:30. Here are the Pelicans lifting it all the way through. They're lifting it all over. They've got it all down, they've gone. Winning in the most transition screens. They got it all covered out. New changes here, releasing here from the Detroit Pistons and from the other angle of the Pelicans. And now with Ali LaForce on the updated lines, he has all recovered here for the head coach. She has talked to Dwayne Casey, and he really has to tell things out. They're looking all over the place after we see the last highlights here to go with the hustle and the in-coach talk. They have it all in cover inbound. They're not really aggressive to go over it again, but it seemed like that they were like going all over him to try to like keep it up the pace. The strength must continue. Now here's Ivy on Jones. Rolls back to Hayes. He picks it back. Another miss by Detroit. Lost the ball. Oh man, Jones back the other way. They're really catching things over. Marathon battle. And Valanciunas really keeps it going. The 13-4 run in the last 30, they are lifting it up. Here's Hayes. Back on CJ McCollum. Bay. Swings over to Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich finding a player's open man advantage. Ivy. Bogdanovich for three. Good outside the range, and they're going over it again to take the run pressure. That's a tough one to stand because he's wide open alone. He really didn't want to stop here. He's just going to try to like keep an open shots remaining. McCollum back over to Jones. Shot up again and missed out again. Valanciunas delivering it back the other way, and he's lifting it over again. Valanciunas has 8 points. They are extending the lead. Ivy outside. Bogdanovich for three. Ooh, in and out. Made a missed three-point opportunity range. Williamson, in and out. Another one missed here for the Pelicans under a minute and a half with 90 seconds to remain. McCollum for two. Missing out. Bogdanovich back the other way. Clock winding down. They're never going to like try to keep it over again if they want to get it. Three-pointer. Not going home tonight. He's lifting it up 5 in a row. He's all over it. He's just want to just go right ahead. Jones. Lifting back the other way. Swings back to Ingram. McCollum. Fades right to Ron Williamson. Shot clock winding down, and Williamson delivers it all. He has 13 in the game. CJ McCollum with the assist. And yeah, looks like those guys are definitely top range. They've got it all down. Last possession here for the Pistons, I meant. Excuse me. Wow, what a stop here. Valanciunas blocking the ball right away. And that's where you can't really deny on that one. Valanciunas is crushing his four off, around, the angle. They're all over this guy. He's great. 6 remaining. Rebounded off by Bagley the third. Now their last possession for the Pistons. Ivy. Hayes for three. It's tipped off. Valanciunas with the ball. And that will do for the fourth quarter. Final score, an upset take. Pelicans beat over Detroit Pistons 63-47. Their tough runs are always in the mark. I can definitely tell that they are already streaking it so far. They're tough enough to make it over. And to close this game off, we now send you Allie LaForce. Allie, it's all yours.
Zion, this is a team with some outstanding young players with complementary skills. How do you see yourself fitting in?
I think I fit in very well. I think I'm a very versatile player. You can throw me out there with any group, and I'm going to put up, do something to contribute. I think we're a very unselfish team, so that plays a big part too.
And any group would be happy to have you. Thanks, Zion.
All right, Allie, thank you so much. And with appreciation of the game, we all can't wait to say thank you for watching for this game. And the post-game show is right now on the board. We go back to Centerpiece. This is OJ, along with B-Phone, saying signing out. Good night in Detroit. All right, thank you so much, Sir OJ. A perfect comeback here for the win here of the Pelicans beating over the Detroit Pistons. A 63-47 win as they took a lot of field goal percentage here. 3-pointers in between from the range here from 20% to 24%. Then free throws ability was putting out 9 out of 9 so far over the Pelicans 4 out of 5. Fast break points was only 7. 44 in the paint, and there's a lot of second chance point bucket scores here for the Pelicans that picks up here for the points in paint. Bench points was 17, and a lot of assists was going in between. Offense and defensive rebounds was picking up a great pace here for the Pelicans with the steals and blocks. Only 4 turnovers has regained control, and that would cause team fouls here with 4 team fouls in the head. And only 2 were dunk performances, and 18 was the only record that brought the Pelicans up here. Time possession, that was the only thing that happened here so far, and that was all that happened. And now it's time for your free star players at the game as we start off here from the top. Number 3, we have a great look at the inbound here from the players that we are all looking for. It's tough to be honest though. Let's go ahead and give this one a first look here of CJ McCollum. 13 points, 2 assists and a steal. Definitely did a great count buckets in 1. He really picked up a great foul to give up here and made it in the paint. Really hard to keep things going. And that really does turn out. Last season was a huge success for CJ McCollum. Now we enter in number 2 is Boban Bogdanovic. 13 points, assist and a rebound, and only the dunk has performed. Only 3 consecutive 3-pointers have made. A great shot, a great opportunity range. It definitely did turn out well. 15 performance effort was just a bit heavy to take over from the resistant here, but tough thing goes out. Nothing will ever stop him from being left behind. And for your number 1, this one goes out to Zion Williamson. 13 points, 6 rebounds, only 2 assists. That was even just insane how it does turn out. Just a lot of it going impact in between here from right to left. It did turn out to be defensive plays of this game. It really does turn out a lot of play efforts of this game. So with that one, that ends here for the second part of the game of the NBA 2k23. And for this one, we are about to be sticking you around here for next time for the game, as the next commentary will be up here from its way, as we have Test Tube, and along the other hand is Paintbrush. And I will be here for the third person here to join with the comedian of the group, here for the commentary lines here for the next matchup of this game. That will be the Celtics and the Mavericks here for the next part of the game here at Dallas. So at this point, I'd like to thank you all for watching this part of this video. And make sure you subscribe to my channel, because if you don't, we will come out and take your ball away and reject it where all you can. You better be ready here. Fast it goes here. 101 tough breaks, you're going ankle breaking if you don't hit the subscribe button. Well, this might be the only thing that happens with that so far. Only hit the subscribe button if you're ready to get in the game. I mean, we're going to be doing a lot of them. I've done tons of stuff. Please support me as I would. And for that, thanks for watching. Peace out, everyone, for a while as the NBA 2k23 dial. I'll see you guys for the next game at the third. Thanks for joining us. See you next time. Peace out.
If you don't, somebody will.